I couldn't get on here fast enough. I couldn't get on here fast enough when I heard people are trying to blame my son. I couldn't get on here fast enough.
This trophy wife family people. The thing is, this thing that happened to these two girls are very sensitive, and I don't get the fact that they're coming online to just make it look like there is nothing wrong with the mom and also the niece. The niece, that is the husband's niece, came to the internet to say this woman is lying, that something like that did not happen, that her uncle did not say the babies at all, the 2-year-old and the 4-year-old. If you're not following up the story, please, you have to go down for this week, which is, we had like part one, part two, part three of this conversation, which I don't want to go back and start talking about it. This is like updates of what is going on, of what I saw on my For You page on YouTube, on TikTok. Denise came and said it was the son. That is, the woman had two sons. She was a single mother before she met that high value man. So she had two sons. So the niece, or the niece in law to her, was saying that it was not the uncle that has been essaying those two girls, that the mother is covering up her sons, thing. That it was those sons, that one of them also that has been essaying the children. The matter is kind of very annoying and confusing, and I don't want to believe that. Let me roll these videos for you all to watch, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Everyone, my name is Dee, and I am the niece of the trophy wife's husband. Now, I know you know who the trophy wife is because she's been going up and down my timeline for the last couple of days. Her name is Isis, or Paloma, which is her real name. This lady is completely insane. Let's just start from there. Background story. Her and my uncle got together really quick. From what I've been seeing and what I've been told, she thought that she was getting a come up with my uncle. But then when things didn't go her way and she pretty much seen that she could no longer hide the things that she was doing behind closed doors, she ended up trying to find a different route, which was to come on here and lie to you all and tell you that her daughter had been touched by her dad, which that is not the case. Her daughter had been touched by her son, and she didn't want anybody to know because she wanted to try to make it seem like my uncle was the bad guy because she wasn't getting what she wanted in the divorce. For you smart ladies out there who sat up there and thought to yourselves, oh, this cannot be true. This can't be, something that a woman would allow, which it's not. It's not something that a woman would allow. I am a victim of whatever you want to call it. And I don't appreciate one bit of the accusations being put out there, especially not just because they're fake, not just because that they're out there just for clout, but because of the fact that this involves a family member of mine who I care about dearly. Multiple family members, if you want to put that out there, because the kids are my family too. The boys are somebody else's. The girls and the last baby are a part of my family. And if they're being harmed in any kind of way, I definitely would want to stand up for them. For sure. But her son is the one that the baby first initially said that was touching her. My grandmother was changing the baby one day and she seen that it was red down there and she said that her brother did it. Now, when they went to court, the court did not believe what she was saying because Paloma had already put, or ISIS had already put out a case against my uncle because my uncle was furious when he found out that her oldest son was touching the girls. So he went out and tried to, seek help to figure out what he should do about getting her son away from the girls so that they would no longer have to go through this. But as soon as he did that, ISIS went and took papers out on him claiming that he did it because she didn't want her son to go down for it. On top of all of this, she's sitting over here acting like she's the best parent in the world when if y'all go look for yourself, y'all will see that she has a child abuse case of her own. Her youngest son she tried to put it on my uncle that he abused her youngest son, which loves my uncle to death. But the day that her and her ex tried to put out there that my uncle had abused her son, he wasn't in the state. He wasn't nowhere near. So once they went to the hospital and they took the little boy to the hospital, the one thing that they didn't do this time is the social workers pulled him aside and started asking him questions and asked him, who hurt you? Come to find out, the little boy told and said that it was her. Not only that, her oldest son has sent my uncle threatening messages. He has rubbed poop on the walls at multiple family members' house, including theirs. He has pushed his younger brother down the stairs to the point where he had a concussion, and she didn't want to take him to the hospital because she didn't want them to know that she had, a son that had been abusing on her other kids.
She came on to talk about how she can never take this kind of thing because I didn't want to talk about the fact that the niece came to say, come and see it is not my uncle that did all of that, it is his son. I don't want to believe it. That was why I didn't actually make the video immediately it came out. But when the woman, that's the new trophy wife, Isis, came and said, you know what, she's not going to sit down and let anybody lie about her son, that it was the man that did it. That's why I'm making this video. This thing is now very annoying. It's getting more annoying. It has been more annoying to me because these children that were SA'd and raped, these children should be the concern, should be the most important thing, and that guy should have been in jail. But then, according to her, he's a high value man, da 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 da.
Hi, everyone. I couldn't get on here fast enough. When I heard people are trying to blame my son. I couldn't get on here fast enough. I thought I heard someone who I've never met in my life coming on here trying to blame my son. Someone whom I've never met in my life trying to come on here and blame my son for the sick and disgusting things that my daughter's father was doing. This is not a game. This is not a game. How dare you? How dare you blame this on an innocent child? You talk about you got proof? You have proof? I've got proof right here. Right here. Show me your paperwork. You talk about I am saying something different than when I was in court. Honey, you weren't even there. I've never seen you in my life. It's not very good. Oh my gosh. Y'all want to see my protective order? Right here. I'm going to cover my daughter's name. In the case of a vulnerable adult and a minor child, a relative, there is a preponderance of the evidence to believe that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Statutory abuse of a child, R word, or a statutory S offense. father has been coming into two-year-old and 4-year-old daughters' rooms and SAing them. This is from the judge. There's the case number. It matches the records. There's the proof. There's the proof. There's the proof. I'm done. That's all. I'm done.
What is you guys take? What is your take on this situation? What do you have to say? Let me share some reaction on this conversation, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the reaction.
My husband hates social media, so even if I wanted to be one of those relationship girlies who comes on here and gives y'all advice and be like a cute couple channel, it would never happen. It would never happen. But even if he loved social media and wanted to do that, I would never sign up for that. And the reason why is because of this situation with the new trophy wife. People will literally sit there and watch your content, hate or love you. They will watch your content for the express purpose of the ability to tear you down. The minute you mess up, they are ready to tear you down. And I told you so. And I knew it was a facade. And I knew she was this, that, and the third. I don't do the hypergamy girly, the sprinkle. Like that whole movement is very interesting. There's nothing wrong with marrying up or dating up. If you want to marry into money, that's fine. Higher earner man, even though obviously not the only quality you should be looking for in a partner. But if that is the lifestyle you are aspiring to, by all means, date up. I love that for the girls. Rooting for you always. However, she built her platform off of pushing a very specific image and narrative. And it's something that people absolutely threw back in her face the second things went wrong. And I feel really bad for her and her children. I don't understand the energy and the frustration behind why so many people are coming after her for setting up a GoFundMe. Like people, that is just what people do nowadays. If you don't like it, don't donate to it. But yeah, I can never, not everything belongs on social media. And I firmly believe your relationship is one of those things, because the minute things go wrong in your relationship, there will be people who are ready to rip you apart, and it could just never be me.
Hello. I am Michelle Nicole from Confessions of a Recovering Single Mother. And guess what? The plot has thickened. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying what happened to those young girls is just absolutely appalling. However, according to the niece, allegedly, of the husband, the trophy wife, also known as Isis, whose real name is Paloma, according to the niece, is telling a tale. And the niece is saying that the husband did not touch the children, and that the little boys are the one that touched the girls. Now, we're going to talk about this tonight on my channel around 10 p.m. ES time. So please tune in, as this is absolutely crazy, and I just knew something was off. All right, guys, we're going to talk about it. See you then.
I watched a full 14-minute video, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm going to get straight to the point. Even under her video, people are speaking of the next steps, which is prison, and she's not even speaking of that in her video or anything around it. Let's have a serious conversation. There are some people who desire to be wives and loved more than being mothers, not understanding that both can be balanced, period. Both can coexist. Now, I'm not a wife or a mother, but I was raised by women that were wives and mothers. And like I said in my last video, it seems like she is grieving her marriage and her content more than the idea or the fact that her husband touched her two daughters. She literally ended the video with, I don't know what I'm going to rebrand with. Like, I don't want to see any baby content. Once you find out that your partner touched your children, they are no longer human. They are no longer your husband. They are no longer a man, period. So why are you still calling him your husband? And then on top of that, I went down a really dark rabbit hole that I wish I did not go down. I seen a lot of people under my comments saying that she knew what was going on. And I really prayed and hoped that she didn't. I seen the clips and the videos of her lives. I never followed her. I never watched her. And you can hear baby girl screaming ouch multiple times. And she's saying some other things as well. And the fact that you can hear her through the screen lets you know how loud it is. And it also lets you know that she can also hear her husband as well. Now, there are people who has really good ears that can hear exactly what he's saying. But for me personally, I can only listen to or play a video so many times before I tick. And allegedly in the comments they are saying that he's saying like move your hand or something. Let me tell you something. When children are playing or whatever is happening, they will let you know exactly what's happening. If they can process what's happening to them, they will say, "Oh, don't hit me, don't touch me, I don't like that," regardless of age. The fact that she is saying "ouch" means that she can't really process what's happening to her, what's being done to her, and she's signaling out for help. And the fact that she told her audience to ignore what was happening multiple times, she's literally telling them, I don't know if you guys can hear what's going on. Of course they can, just like you can. And you did not get up to go see what that ouch meant. Every mother online in person that I've ever met and seen make sure that their child is okay. It don't matter if they got a paper cut. Why are you saying ouch? What's going on? Children tell you exactly what happened. Mommy, I hurt myself. I burned myself. I cut myself. They hit me. She's saying ouch. Anyways, I don't trust her in any process beyond this point. As far as the streets, let's remember his image, his face, make sure he don't do it to anybody else, because his 50 years or however many years he lived, I'm pretty sure this is not his first time. He done did it to 2 children. Okay, let's keep up with this information. Let's keep up with the situation. Make sure he don't do it to anybody else. That's all I gotta say about this. And one more thing, this is not victim blaming. The victims are the children. Yes, she said that she is a victim of RAPE and child SA and so on and so forth. But the fact that we are here now, it's the children that we need to vouch for. They can't speak for themselves. Since you did not bring up prison or anything around that, and you put it out there, it is what it is. Like, we're going to make sure that everything is handled the way that it needs to be handled. I don't want to see no baby content past this point. If I don't hear no updates, I'm going to lose it.
Y'all, so the trophy wife story has taken a complete turn. We heard her side of the story. Now his family is coming out and saying their side of the story. So the husband's niece came out and said basically her oldest son is the ones who was SAing the husband's daughters. It never was him. Granted, she also said that he filed for divorce and she was not happy with the divorce settlement that she received. And so she ran to the internet and tried to flip the whole narrative to make it seem like he has been SAing his own daughters. Here's my 2 cents on it. I don't know why, if you are the auntie to these little girls, I don't know why you would try to take up for their own father abusing them. Does that make sense? That's the only reason why I'm kind of leaning towards the niece side of the story. Also, only because I've never, ever thought I'd see today a woman would buy her own wedding ring, propose to a man, and get married to him all in 1 week. Granted, the family had already said that it was something off about the whole situation and the girl. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? The plot is getting thick.
People are saying do not blame the new trophy wife, that it's not her fault, that nobody's blaming her, nobody's saying that it's her fault. I don't know, maybe some people are, or nobody's saying she deserves it. For me, she doesn't. Nobody deserves it. Even if you're my worst enemy, even if you wish it to me, I don't wish it to you, right? That your children will be essayed by your husband. That situation is something nobody should experience. No human should experience that situation. It is very depressing. But then the situation around it, the things that led to it, the way she handled it after it happened, I like the fact that she did not, confront him immediately. But then coming on social media and trying to make it look like, okay, I'm not going to talk about how you can meet high value man anymore. I'm going to start talking about how I'm going through my divorce and how my children were essayed. Like, there's some things you shouldn't try to monetize when it comes to social media. When it comes to essaying your children, those babies, I don't think it's something you should want to monetize, in my own opinion. Because I see some mom on TikTok. She's not the only one anyway. And she's not the first one that I have seen. I've seen someone on TikTok that their daughters were SA'd and they will come and even be videoing the daughter and be saying, oh, who touched you? Who did this? Who did that? I don't know. I don't know. In my own opinion, I just feel like She ignored a lot of red flags that she should have known. If that man actually raped you before you had kids for him, he will definitely grape your children. And the fact that he's like 50 something and you were like 20 something or something when you guys met, he loved them young. So you shouldn't be so relieved, or you should not actually be looking at him and not suspecting for anything. The other time I saw a video of her going viral of how she has posted the video a long time ago, but people went to dig the video. She was making a video and one of her daughters or two of her daughters were screaming, ouch, ah, mommy, or something. Like, ouch, that pain. And she was like, I'm going to ignore them and all of that. Probably that period, it was doing something to those girls. And it's really sad and very depressing, to be honest. What kind of family is this? And what is it with the niece that will come online and say she's lying? I'll not let anybody to say anything to my uncle. And this is what we're talking about. When there's a rapist in the family, especially the older one, especially the one that has money, a lot of people around them want to come and say, oh, it's a lie. Even the mom of the rapist will even come and say, oh, it's not like that. He never did that. They will want to cover it up. They don't want that shame in that family. And that is messed up. What is your take on this situation? Let me know your thought down in the comment section respectfully. And thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.